as an input for the country and not for the citizens. The rise in price, of course, is in part the result of the recent Greek debt crisis and the subsequent bailout by the IMF. The crisis was caused primarily by the world financial crisis and uncontrolled government spending. Another factor that affects prices is market unrest, and that is prevalent now. In recent years, the country has had a $20 to $25 increase in the price of oil. Each $10 increase in the price of oil shaves off two-tenths of the growth rate. It's like a debt. It's like a tax on the Greek people. The money goes to the oil producers and it hurts growth in the Greek economy. It means the people spend money on something, in this case the oil. They spend money to fill their tanks. They do not have money to spend on other things. It hurts businesses within the country, and, and as a result hurts the economy as a whole. It raises prices within Greece and raises inflation threat, which is probably the single biggest risk to the economy right now. Having said this, it is clear that continually increasing oil prices hinder economic growth and have a tripling effect on the Greek economy. And obviously, this is all the more detrimental to countries like Greece that are highly dependent on oil. Thank you.
Does the delegate keep the floor to check?
Yes.
Are there any, is the delegate open to any points? Are there any points of information from the delegate? Delegate of Iraq, followed by delegate of Australia, followed by delegate of Argentina.
The high oil prices have an effect on the Greek debt prices.
Delegate, please raise the question.
Actually, don't just say it.
Did the high oil prices have an effect on the Greek debt prices?
It definitely had an effect. The effect was people spent a higher division of their income on oil, on their daily oil needs. That means that they spend less on other products from within the Greek economy. That means that the country will have difficulty paying off its debt, its sovereign debt, which is why the IMF bailed them out with an amount of money that exceeds 50 million euros.
First of all, right. The delegate has stated previously that one major cause of the Greek debt crisis is uncontrolled government spending. How does the delegate of Greece explain the reasons of this uncontrolled spending, especially when we take into account that the Greek debt crisis has affected all of the Eurozone?
Obviously, this delegate cannot speak for the entire government, but this delegate will say that the Greek government will take steps to minimize its spending now that the bailout package has been given to us, and not us to this country. Obviously, this country took measures that were incorrect, and that is very obvious in our country's state of economy, but the country will take steps and will minimize government spending and will eliminate areas where government spending is not needed or can be sacrificed for the time being.
Just to follow up, what are the steps or policies that the Greek government is now taking to reduce the effects of the debt crisis?
The delegate just mentioned sacrificing spending that is not needed for the time being, or doing away with it altogether.
All throughout our history with nuclear reactors and plants, assessments on our generic designs were held even before construction, and even the slightest gaps were modified to meet Britain's safety assessment principles. Moreover, Britain was more than welcoming to the idea that all its nuclear reactors to be put under the stress test, only after which licenses are issued to qualify the reactors as safe, and thus ensure maximum safety for the workers and the public. Also, measures as well, such as shutting down old plants just in case they were not safe anymore, and pursuing proper installation of nuclear plants and reactors as part of the Nuclear Installation Act were carried out. In conclusion, the United Kingdom not only values its great industrial ranking, but above all puts the safety and well-being of its people. The delegate yields the floor to the chair.
The delegate open to the point. Are there any points of commission for the delegate? Delegate of Canada, followed by the delegate of USA.
If an incident or a disaster is to occur, how does UK plan to remediate these areas contaminated by the radiation? If such an accident occurs or a disaster wherein there there is radiation all around. How does UK plan to suppress the radioactivity?
Initially, part of the Installation Act is picking the perfect spot for the nuclear plants, meaning that it should be as far away from the public so as to minimize the effect. And if such a disaster will take place, there are many programs that have been initiated in the United Kingdom to try and help train, for example, the workers and the people who are even slightly close to the plants to react directly and try to evade any harm.
In the UK, there are still Generation 2 reactors running. What does the UK government plan to do with them?
If a reactor is thought to have been on soil for too long, and even though faults in the design were not to be found, and there was even the slightest doubt that that reactor is no longer safe and that anything could go wrong at any minute, those reactors are shut down and are decomposed and are no use anymore to the United Kingdom.
The IAEA came out with results that Generation 3 and Generation 4 type reactors must be used by all countries to ensure safety after the Fukushima incident. But till today, UK still runs some Generation 2 type reactors. Does UK have any plans to renew or dismantle any of these reactors?
The United Kingdom is a very active member state of the IAEA, which implies that all the rules and regulations and all the proposed ideas by that organizations are strongly respected and valued by the United Kingdom. Hence, things are being done to dismantle those reactors to prevent harm for the public. So it is taken into consideration.